Okay,
Fuck,
welcome
I
back.
used my best joke already.
No, I mean, it'll still be in that doesn't matter.
It's true. Oy, ay, 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 ay.
Welcome to After V1.
Welcome to After V1, everybody.
Oh, fucking Juga.
Oh,
It's a
fucking
fucking
Juga.
Juger. Alright, let's go back to... Oh, hey!
Mm.
Oh, no. Okay. That was fun. I tried to delete this JPEG and I accidentally deleted the entire scene. If OBS didn't support Control Z, I would have lost like
Oh my
so
God.
much stuff that I would have to do.
Oh, Jesus.
Tell me the joke
absolutely
again, 'cause I don't know
hellish.
if I heard it.
Oh,
Were you talking about my big bouncy titties ears? All right, that was. I mean, that was terrible.
That was just
okay.
fucking awful. No, you don't have to walk it back. That was bad. That was bad.
I have nothing positive left to say about our fights. I want this fucking show to be over.
It's done.
I want this show to be fucking over. I'm so sick of this goddamn show. In the nicest way possible. I am so fucking sick of this goddamn show.
Genuinely, not even maliciously. Like, I'm just done. I'm over it.
It said, like, what else is there?
We've been all over this.
This show is a mess.
This show is fucked. Also, I remember the joke. This
Revice is on.
Kamen Rider Revice redeemed this evil scientist at episode 30, but when it came to the end game, it was a Juga.
It was a Juga.
It was a Juga.
This story is
Kamen Rider Juga.
See, I don't even have any reference for that because I didn't watch Saber.
It's well, we've been doing this actually.
We've been doing this for at least the last 3. This is the 3rd time in a row we've done this because we did this with Hirobi.
Yep.
And the way we did it with Storius, and now we're doing it with George. Except
like the final boss.
Logically, the pattern should go. The pattern should have been that it would be Olteca. But I guess they knew that and faked us out with it. Because in 01, the first villain, the first antagonist was Hirobi. And then at the end, he was the last boss. And then in Saber, the first villain was the E-Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, the last boss was Storius.
Yeah.
So logically following that, the first boss of this show was the Deadman's. And then the last boss should be Olteca. And they faked us the fuck out by bringing Olteca back and then immediately throwing him out.
Yeah, they brought him back from the dead just for this, to do nothing.
Do I actually have to watch the movie to understand what happens to George? What happened to George?
Like, because just watching the show, I'll tell you, I don't know what happened.
2 episodes ago, however many episodes ago, he helped them. Like, he's been helping them the whole time. So for the last, 30 episodes,
he's been, pretty unequivocally one of the good guys.
So what happened? There was no, build-up to this. His dad's demon is the main villain of the movie. Right, I know that part. But what is that?
Like what?
His demon possesses him again. So are you seriously telling me that to understand the endgame of Revice, I need to watch the movie?
Oi, that's a flogging. That's a flogging for real.
I can't really think of the last time that's actually happened. Can't think of any time that's actually happened.
No.
That the movie is required viewing to understand the actual story of the show.
One of the major character arcs in play in the endgame, apparently.
The only time that I could really... And I feel like it's kind of a stretch... Okay, so you don't have to watch I don't really think you have to watch Den-O to understand the end game, the show would be a little confusing for like 2 weeks if you didn't watch the movie. But I don't think that you have to watch the movie to understand an important plot arc for the final fucking boss of the fucking show. Also, you're right, Decade, because that's the only place in Decade. The Decade movie is the only place you're going to get the actual information that Decade is the great leader. That literally doesn't matter, though. That information does not affect Decade at all.
It definitely doesn't affect Decade's end game because Decade doesn't have one.
I guess unless you guys are referring to the Decade finale movie, which that is true. Like the movie that comes out after Decade. Like, yes, that is true, but those circumstances are different, I think.
Yeah, Decade was a whole fucked up thing.
But don't you hate that? Not to get too far off the point. Isn't that fucking hilarious, actually? Fucking... The beginning of Decade opens with, like, the mystery of who he is. And that mystery is only answered in the movie, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It never really comes up again. The only time that him being great leader is relevant is in Superhero Tyson.
Yeah, that is literally the only
other time it's relevant.
The thing is, there's no continuity between instances of Decade appearing in anything, really.
It's all linear.
It's all linear, but like, none of it matters to the rest of it.
There's a very specific difference between like Decade and like post-Decade.
Yeah.
In terms of his appearances. Mm-hmm. What about Saber? Did you need to watch the Saber movie to understand the end game?
What was the Saber movie?
Sorry, hold on. One more time. First of all, Capwee, hi. Sorry for ignoring you for a second. Welcome to the stream. I hope you have a good time on your first one. Falcon was necessary for Cross Saber, but they reintroduced Falcon in the show.
He was in the show, yeah.
So you didn't need to watch the movie, right?
Yeah. I mean, you saw the movie advertised at least, so you knew he was there. You could at least go, oh, there was a movie writer.
There was a movie. But my understanding is that when they reintroduced Falcon into the show, they sort of recapped the movie really fast. Didn't they?
I think, yeah. Emotional Dragon was in the show as well, so like, in terms of content, you weren't missing anything if you didn't watch it.
Naki comes from literally nothing. Yes.
I mean, I never watched those
because I don't like violence against. Well, I was gonna say women, but that's not true. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah. Needless gratuitous
violence. I didn't watch the Thouser special, but like,
me neither.
And the Drive specials, I also don't count that because you don't have to watch those to understand the ending of the show. Is what I'm getting at, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you could watch Drive without all the dumb specials and the this and the that, but there's no important character plots that are relevant in the movie that affect the characters in the show. There's not between the 2 weeks of these episodes, Jackpot Striker. Okay, that's a good point.
Okay.
I don't think that's enough. That's not really enough to get mad at, but it is true.
Yeah, they did.
That guy was fuck around and find out with Jackpot Striker. That was hilarious. In a bad way, but like, maybe they will explain it. You're right. Maybe they will explain it. Maybe we're making a judgment too early.
I'm fine making judgments early on Revice at this point. It spun its fucking wheels for weeks doing nothing. That introducing a twist like this is
crazy.
It's crazy. We did fuck all for like a month and a half, and now we've had to do everything in 2 episodes. Why?
Yes.
What was it for?
It was for...
What was it for?
The money.
The money.
The money.
We've had like 3, including Juga.
It's for those fucking memorial kits. You don't understand.
That's it. No, I understand. Full fucking well. It's just for the memorial sets. We have to have more things for the weekend pack. We have to have things for the Phoenix pack. We couldn't have just put in Memorial Holy Live. We needed Evility Live.
Of course you get shit to Bandai. I don't even have to ask.
Yeah.
What are they gonna put? Could you imagine if they put a fucking toy on the shelf 3 weeks before the show ended?
After not putting even the third rider's belt out the entire year.
To
I
me,
kind of wish they would.
Revice literally isn't a toy commercial to me at this point. It's literally not.
You can't buy most of the shit it's fucking selling in shops, so it isn't. Like, almost everything they use, even everything that was on screen in that, Giffard Rex is the only thing you could actually get in stores.
Yeah, everything in that episode, everything that's been in like the last couple of fucking episodes, the only thing on the shelves you can buy is Giffard Rex, because Daiji uses a new stamp now, and now Sakura has a P Bandai stamp for her P Bandai driver. George's thing is P Bandai.
Yeah. The Demon's driver and the Weekend driver.
Yeah. Oh, and
both P Bandai.
Both P Bandai. It's dire. Y'all,
it's fucked. It's seriously fucked up.
I understand. It's to my understanding that the Geats riders are all going to be using the same driver.
I was just thinking about that. So, like, it's presumably going to be a case of the one driver and a bunch of packs with just the little emblem things you put in it.
Yep.
With their associated module.
So it's possible the P Bandai-ing will be at a minimum this time.
At least at the start.
Yeah. Until they introduce the quarter riders.
Yeah. It is pretty much a builder belt, yeah. Like,
it looks cool.
I like it. I like the fact that all the modules use a different mechanism to not a different mechanism, a different action.
Yeah.
Transform the Magnum when you spin the revolver thing, the fucking boost, you turn the handle like Axel, boobs. I like the fact that Magnum has a little trigger on the front because you can stick it on the gun as like a grip.
Yeah.
That's fun. It looks fun. It looks fun to have toys you can buy.
They'll justify making 3 more belts for sure. And there'll be at least, like, bare minimum, there'll be at least, like, 3 belts in the show, because there'll be all the quarter 1 riders that'll all use the Desire driver, and then the Q2 guy will have a new driver that does nothing. And, there'll be, like, a Q3 guy, like the final boss or whatever, and that'll probably be P-Man guy.
Yeah, they all are now, right?
I mean,
the
Splash driver is last time. The Splash driver is no worse than the 1000 driver or the fucking evil live thing 2-side driver.
Yeah.
At least the Splash driver had the decency to come with everything you would need for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will actually say they were smart about that, because when fucking Rogue came out, they gave him a new toy, but in a pre-existing belt. They easily could have given him a new belt. They would now. They would now. They would have back then, probably. I don't know why they didn't, but they easily could have given him a new belt. But all you had to do, if you had already bought the Splash driver, was just go buy his like $15 bottle. That's it. And you have yourself a whole new rider with a ton of sounds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He even recycles the gun, the Trans Steam repaint from the Engine Bros.
Yeah,
which is totally unnecessary.
Yeah, that was. I guess that's where that energy went. I always felt like that was more for him.
It was more for him, but they had it first, I think. It matches his color scheme better than theirs.
It does, literally. Their get-along gun.
At least they didn't try to repaint the Trans Steam sword, or whatever that thing's actually called.
Oh, yeah.
You could just slot that into both of them when they work the same.
That's good, yeah. Steam Blade.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Thing was fucking funny.
Thing was fucking... That rifle mode was cool, though.
It was. The way you had to, like, pop the thing up and pull that little slide in.
Yeah, that fucking rifle mode was good looking. Like, it actually looked really nice. It looks better with the original Trans Steam gun, but it looks fine with the Nebula Steam gun.
Yeah.
Also, the fucking Evolve driver getting a fucking DX release is insane.
I was gonna say, that's like the last time, and I don't even know how they did that.
I have no fucking idea how they did that, just because they only had 3 drivers on the shelf. I mean,
They were
I mean,
fucked for
if you
that.
want to, technically 5 transformation devices if you include the Trend Steam
Just
Gun
the
and the Nebula Steam
guns,
Gun.
yeah.
But that's way less than Saber had on the shelves.
Yeah.
You know, it's more than Revice has on the shelves, which is funny.
Yeah, Revice has 2.
But
Eesh.
the Evolve driver,
I mean, it's literally the build
the Evolve driver is useful for 2 riders.
Mm.
You know, we make fun of build for the like bullshit lackadaisical way that they hand waved Mad Rogue getting an Evolve driver. But it saved us from him having a fucking P Bandai driver, because now he would have a P Bandai driver.
Yeah.
And it would retail for $300. It would do one thing, and it would have 600 voice lines of a character that nobody fucking likes.
Reiwa has been a very bad time for toy lines, I feel like.
It has been.
I feel like they've all... I feel like 01 was the best one, because it was kind of normal, right?
They had 3 drivers on the shelf at first.
Yeah.
And then they had... It was normal at first. You're right. It was normal at first.
Yeah.
And then there was the fucking the sword one. What's that fucking thing called?
Oh, the slash driver.
Slash driver.
Yeah.
Oh no, they had 4 belts on the shelf.
Yeah, is 1000 driver, and then it stopped after
and then
that.
It stopped after that. And the slash driver.
Fucked, because that thing does nothing.
Slash riser, yeah, that's right.
Slash
riser
right.
And this is the arc stuff. I mean, to be fair,
the arc belt
I get. There was a lot going on with that thing. That was back in the day when a P Bandai product actually fucking meant something.
Yeah, you got why they did that, because that thing was like
crazy.
The 01 driver, but did actually kind of more.
It flipped.
Had all the same
lines. It did all that stuff.
Yeah, it had like it didn't do the scanning thing he never used, but you just press the button instead, which is more fun.
Yeah.
Slap that shit.
01 barely had any P-Bandai shit. Back in the day, I remember us really complaining about the amount of P-Bandai. It wasn't the amount of P-Bandai, it was the amount of belts that we complained about.
Yes, that was kind of a hang-up for us.
I think back in the day, we used to complain about how many belts that were actually on the shelves to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot, because everybody had their own damn driver after a certain point.
Kind of was a lot.
And plus the Force Riser and the Raid Riser, which were both P Bandai products.
Mm-hmm. The whatever the fuck, the Metsubojin, the Magia thing, right?
Yeah, the Force Riser.
That's the other thing. That's the
Magia thing.
No, the Force Riser is the Rider one. I don't remember what that thing was called. The silver thing. The buckle thing they put.
Yeah, on. the one that humans use was called Raid Riser.
Was it?
Yeah, the Raid Riser is the one that Yaiba used.
Oh yeah. That's the one.
The Force Riser is the one that they put on human gears.
Force Riser is the one that Hirobi and Jin use, isn't it?
Oh. Zetsume Riser. Okay, that's
Zetsume Riser. Yeah,
whatever.
No one remembers.
No,
you're
right. Force Riser
is
the one that was actually on the shelf.
Yeah, that thing barely even exists, though. So
yeah, barely functions. It just rips the key open.
I couldn't remember what it was called. Yeah.
And then they repainted that for the movie version.
The Cyclone Riser.
The Cyclone Riser.
That thing's good.
And then there was the movie belts, the movie keys, the memorial sets.
Oh, that was the start of that, wasn't it? That was the first time they...
The Zetsume driver.
Geo started that.
Geo started that, yeah. Is that the memorial? I remember everybody bitching about that because the memorial set was the only way to get Skime.
Funny. This too is Geo's fault.
Destroying Bandai Namco would be faster.
Mm-hmm.
The Zetsume Risers and the Raid Risers were fine, but it was just a piece of plastic.
Yeah, exactly. It just pressed a button.
Almost crazy how Geo only had 2 drivers. It was actually kind of crazy how Geo had 2 drivers.
Yeah, looking back,
that's not something that would happen now.
They got the most out of those motherfuckers, though.
Technically 3.
I was going to say
count the Oma driver.
Which was the original P Bandai belt.
But like, what else is it gonna be? You know?
Yeah, you couldn't fucking sell that thing.
You couldn't sell that piece of shit.
You shouldn't try. They didn't try. They were right not to.
Yeah, they were.
It would have flopped if they'd tried it.
No, I think it would have. I think it would have sold okay. Somehow. And then Saber happened.
And I take it for granted, but Saber was fucked for all that.
And then Bandai was like, "Oh man, too many belts on the shelf. We gotta knock it down."
And instead of putting less belts in the show, they addressed the problem very literally and just put less belts on the shelves. Fuck. Oh.
Yeah, you know what? I'm like, I've made peace with it. Takahashi's back on writer.
Okay.
I'm not happy about it, but
nope.
I'm not.
It's been 2 years.
I'm not gonna get mad about it anymore.
No. I mean, it's not worth it.
It is what it is. Ranking Reiwa seasons of writer. I mean,
I
don't like any of them.
Yeah,
Zero-1
a lot of them.
Zero-1 probably
Zero-1
is the best. Objectively
was
the best one.
Well, I haven't seen Saber, so I can't rank.
Yeah, I haven't finished. I didn't watch more than 20 episodes of Saber, so I guess I shouldn't really
The
say
more
that.
time passes, the more I think I might enjoy Saber. Maybe
too,
we'd like Saber if we go back to it now.
I was too harsh on you.
Yeah, looking back from where we are now.
Perhaps I was too harsh on you.
Maybe I misjudged. 0-1 was fine. It was fine. It hurt me though.
Objectively, it was fine.
Objectively, it was fine, but for me personally, I will never forgive it. I will never forgive it.
Okay, it's not. Look, see, I'm not worried about Takahashi cratering the show in the first core, but if he craters it at the end, I'm going to kill myself.
That was worse. Yes, the thing I exclusively am upset to this day with 0-1 for fucking nosediving in the last 10 episodes.
If Geats does to me what 0-1 did to me, where I was like super invested in it, and I was like writing meta about it, and then it fucking nosedives, I will kill myself.
I'm walking. I'm fucking out of the whole thing.
I will jump off a fucking building.
That's it. You'll never hear from me again. I'll be out of here. I'm burning it to the fucking ground. If he plays me like that again, I won't stand.
There's a 0% chance. There's a 0% chance. He couldn't. He couldn't. What COVID 2? What is it? COVID 2? Like, there's no chance.
What's gonna do it?
What's gonna do it?
He'll do it to himself.
What fucking worldwide?
Tripping his own fucking dick.
Okay, but that, you know, he
couldn't.
To be fair to Takahashi, the reason
he
tripped on his dick in 0-1, while not entirely because of COVID, was due in large part due to that. The rewrites were from his own mind.
When they were terrible.
He wouldn't have had to do those rewrites if not for COVID.
Yes.
So unless another world-shattering, once-in-a-lifetime event happens in the next 12 months, we should be fine.
We should be fine. He should have smooth sailing. And this is such a thing that's in my head, but I don't know if it's actually true. Did we ever work out if Takahashi knew he was getting 45 episodes with X8?
I don't think we ever worked that out.
No, but I feel like the
prevailing back in
thing
the day we just thought that it got fucking cancelled.
Yeah.
I know back in the day we were like, and they just pulled the plug on this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
But that's not. That surely can't be true because they got 4 movies.
No. Yeah, that shit like did numbers, so there's no way. He just fucked the end game on that one on his own.
Yeah, no, it didn't get canned. But think back that at the time when we heard that X8 was only getting 45, that was pretty unusual.
That's very short.
It's actually still pretty unusual considering.
Yeah. If a show gets 45 episodes, that's that's like a lot of time out.
We didn't know about the movies yet.
Yeah.
I think we knew about True Ending, but I don't think we knew about the Vee Jay trilogy because I don't think those movies got announced until the show was over. In fact, I think they literally got announced on the day of the last airing episode.
That sounds right.
Because the game isn't the game never ends.
The game is never over. Yeah.
Which technically was just a segue into True Ending.
Yeah.
But also it was the confirmation of the Vee Jay trilogy. But when the news came down that XA was only getting 45, we were in like the late 30s or some shit. So we didn't know about that yet. So like looking back, obviously the show wasn't canceled or like wasn't canned because it was this or that or whatever reason. But at the time we didn't know that. And also, Rob is right. They probably put it down to reorder the toy schedules, which I'm sure is doing just fucking numbers for them. See, here's the thing though about Takahashi. X01 hurt me because I didn't like the ending, but X8 was bad the whole time.
That's the thing. Like
but we're past that.
He managed 3/4 of a very good show. He meant more than that. 4/5 of a very good show.
All but like 6 episodes.
Yeah, the most important 6 episodes, but he did still manage the rest of it. I'm smoothing over a lot of bits that I kind of didn't enjoy so much, but whatever.
Fine. Like,
taken as a whole, it was completely fine.
It was fine. The thing is we did just because like there was a lot of things going on, but we did maybe harder than any other writer. We did nitpick 01 to death.
For real, we were watching that shit like hawks though.
Not all of that was undeservedly. But
no,
we did descend on that shit like hawks, and I am willing to admit that.
Yeah, we were very, very overly critical. I know I was at the start, but in fairness to us, it is because the last thing he did was the endings to fucking X8, which are some of the most egregiously bad media you can watch. The ending trilogy is just appalling. Did he not pen every single piece of X8 media?
Yes.
That was all on...
It was all him. He wrote all of it.
He wrote all of it, which is, I think, grounds to, in other cases, grounds for eternal exile from civilized society.
He is going to hell for that.
He is, in fact, going to hell for writing Brave Snipe.
No, but I don't even mean in the early. I don't even mean in the early days. I mean, like we're talking about, like even before the COVID stuff came down, we were battering that show like hell for like mostly
the competition arc.
No, yes, people were doing that. I wasn't. Okay, to be fair, I was doing that because I wasn't watching the show during that time, and when I actually went through it, it was fine.
Yeah,
it dragged on way too long, and I did get critical of the fact that like Bowser has to win every single time, and you know he's going to win. And
that was the worst part.
There was parts of that arc where literally like Aruto would just stand there like a fucking dickhead and just watch him kill Humagears and do nothing to stop him.
That was
like there were literally multiple times in that arc where Aruto would literally just stand there like a moron. When Bowser would kill Humagears and he would just do fucking nothing about it, and then he would just let him walk away.
Yeah,
I mean, I get the point that Bowser was too strong for him to win those fights, but like he just let the men do murder and walk away with it.
he did that shit on camera sometimes. No less. It was fine.
Aruto did win, but you get you knew what was going to happen. Like
in terms of the fights, there would always be a fight at the end. It was always because Bowser just got to do whatever the fuck he wanted. That wasn't fun.
Bowser literally just walked all over that show for like.
I kind of that bit was legitimately like not as a criticism of the show, but that was kind of miserable watching.
It was kind of
because I liked Aruto at that point.
It was hard
and
to
it
watch.
was kind of rough to just see him like lose and get humiliated repeatedly by a guy I fucking despised for like 7 weeks in a row. I didn't like that.
The thing about Bowser is once he started getting his shit kicked in,
that was very cool.
Awesome.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
That was the greatest part of 01 is just the 6 weeks where literally every single person got a turn beating his ass. It
was great. And it wouldn't have been as good if I didn't hate him.
It was like 01 Solo, 01 and fucking Jin, fucking Fua and Yaiba.
Oh, the 01 Jin one was fucking incredible when that happened. I remember being so happy.
With sound.
With sound, for real.
And
I don't understand that he has one time. He did. That was
literally every rider in the show beat him silly at least one time.
Beat the full fuck out of him.
You could literally make a cringe comp of him getting his shit kicked by every single fucking rider in the show.
Oh, it was so good.
It was awesome.
So good.
No.
And then they did give him a little doggy. Why'd you have to bring that up? We were having a good time.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
That didn't happen. I don't want to talk about the doggy. I'm not ready to talk about that yet.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? No. Leave.
It's funny, but it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at the moment.
It's not good funny.
It isn't good funny. It wasn't good writing funny. It was so bad. It was funny.
Yeah. It was funny to see him walking around holding that little fucking dog in his arms.
It was funny how everybody hated him, but I really just kind of wanted him to die.
I would much rather have, in fact, had Ark snap his fucking neck on camera. I would have preferred that.
I would have preferred that.
Because he perhaps more than anyone else in recent memory, deserved to die.
It's not that I wanted him to be well written. I wanted him to be dead.
Yes, I didn't want him to have a good redemption.
My problem wasn't about him being well written or badly written. I didn't want him to be written at all. I wanted them to write him a fucking grave to lie in.
Write his fucking obituary.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Kill.
Now I know it's not entirely fair game. This has never left
Nothing that we say about 01 has ever failed fair game.
No, it's true. Now, we'll say the distinction between Kuroto and Thousa is that Kuroto did actually have the decency to die on multiple occasions.
I wish he would stay dead.
He's alive again now, thanks to Guy no less.
Also, by the way, if Kuroto shows up in Heats for even 1 fucking second, I will jump off a building.
That's it. If I see him in the next time, we're not watching.
If he shows up
I will have something else to do.
In a web series, in a VSyn, if there's a Gem-related henshin item, I will jump off a building.
That's it. It's it. Not having it. Oh yes, the thing I was gonna say, in regards to Amatsu Guy deserving death more than maybe anybody else, is he is in fact categorically a cold-blooded murderer.
Yeah.
In very violent fashion, and I know that.
But that doesn't count because
the VSyn specials. It didn't happen in the show. But he did shoot Naki's head off with a revolver.
Yeah, but Naki didn't die.
Splattered their blood and brains everywhere. He didn't know that. Yeah, well, he did, because I think he was trying to get, put him in Fua's head, right? I never watched it. But the point is he blew another conscious being's head off with a gun, which I think is one of the worst things I've ever seen them do in one of the specials. I really didn't like that.
It was crazy.
I did not care for that whole sequence, and I would have been fine with it if they'd killed him. But they gave him a little dog.
They gave him a little doggy, and now he gets to be in the funny meme videos.
A little dancing doggy.
And he gets to be in the funny meme specials with Kuroto.
Yeah. And admittedly, I will say, in a fight between those two, I am happy that Kuroto is the one who always wins.
I'm not.
I'm not.
So much more.
I do, in fact, despise Dan Kuroto very, very much, but if one of them has to lose, I would rather it be Guy, because I have more fresh memories of how much I hate him.
No, you know...
never trust spin-offs.
No, you never should. The thing... See, but that's why I don't trust that shit, and then you guys come in here
You should watch Veil.
Have you watched Veil yet? No?
Are you fucking crazy? No, this is what happens in these things.
They're
always
in these things.
Hideously violent and terrible.
Apparently Veil is okay.
Apparently Veil is good, but like
But at what cost?
Neither of us were ever going to chance that shit. Are you mad? I remember Rogue. I remember the Rogue spin-off.
I know it was fun.
You know, that's what I'm saying, though.
But you're saying that you watched it because you trusted it. You attempted it. You tried it.
You tried. You
fucking tried it.
You jumped in.
You jumped in.
Never jump in.
I mean, it was irrelevant always. It was never relevant. It would have been relevant if that actor was in the fucking show.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Veil was in this show?
Once.
I don't.
Oh, what, the guy or the rider?
Veil, no, the guy. The character
guy?
Veil.
Oh, yeah, Jesus. That was a fairly recent take. I mean, he gooned very hard.
That was the last good episode.
I'd love to tell you about Dear Gaga if it fucking came out.
Dear Gaga.
If they'd released Dear Gaga over the course of even 3 months...
You know what? Hold on. We say that, but we did take a huge risk with fucking Revice the Mystery.
We did. That could have been so awful.
I don't even know why I did that.
Yeah, looking back, I mean, it paid off fucking enormously, because that was some of...
I think it was just because Hiromi was in it.
Yeah,
like right after he died.
Yeah, we needed more. And thank God we did, because that fucking whole special was incredible.
That shit. That was such a risk.
Oh, look, for real, that could have been just the worst.
That was such a risk.
But Kaido was there in the end.
You know, at least Takahashi's... Oh no. Oh, I forgot we were just talking about Takahashi's spin-off content. I was like, his spin-off content isn't usually too bad. I was thinking of like the X-Aid stuff, which was like mostly
fine?
Except for the Asakura one. I don't think he wrote that though.
Was that X-Aid stuff he didn't write?
I don't think he wrote that. I mean, that was happening while X-Aid was going on. I don't think he had time for that crap.
I wouldn't have thought he had time to write everything he did anyway.
Brave.
I mean, I've always thought it's not really surprising that the ending to X-Aid fucking sucks, because imagine writing an episode a week by yourself as the first time working in Toku.
I mean, the ending of X-Aid sucked because every other part of X-Aid sucked.
Yeah, I know, but...
no. Nobuhiro
structural...
Suzumura wrote that shit. I'm sorry, wait, that's the director. Oh, Takahashi supervised it, but it was Minato Takano, who...
I dread to think the state he was at the end of X-Aid.
2 episodes... Oh! He wrote Project Bowser!
Oh!
Dickhead! He wrote Project Bowser, and so he's the guy who wrote Bowser blowing knocked his head off, and also he's the guy who wrote Oja fucking shoving Emu's face into a fucking bin of glass.
He's got some fucking problems, I think.
Awesome. He also wrote...
Guy needs to be on a list.
He also wrote... Do you remember X-Aid Tricks?
I know it exists, but it was.
Do you remember the laser one that was really weird?
You know what? Shameful confession, but I did make a point to watch all of the X-Aid content when it was on.
Yes, Rob knows. Rob remembers. He wrote that. He also wrote.
I could never find Tricks, but I don't know what I was very new to this.
He wrote Snipe Episode 0.
Fuck. Okay, I did.
Nobody watched that. Can you tell me anything about Snipe Episode 0?
Is it the one I'm thinking? Is that the one where he doesn't really transform for the whole thing and then turns into level 1 Proto Snipe at the end?
It's the one that has Bang Bang Tank in it.
Fuck me, Bang Bang Tank. He had... I don't even remember if this was in the show. He had another guy who was like a doctor who died, who came back at the end.
And he used the driver, and then he had like fake blood on his hands from
It It was before he had the white bits in his hair.
Mm-hmm.
He turns it. The big thing of him having that whole beef with Graphite is in it, but he literally turns into level 1 snipe and fucking beefs it and doesn't do shit. So it's entirely a one-sided beef between those two. Because he literally... I don't even think he landed a hit on the fucking guy before Graphite just tossed his shit in the bin.
Man, I love X-Aid. He also wrote Heisei Generations, which was the Dr. Pac-Man one.
Oh, fuck me. That one's amazing, though.
Yeah, that one's not bad, actually.
It's
not great, but it's not bad.
I kind of love the Dr. Pac-Man one.
It's like
they were
fine.
funny.
Actually, that one was pretty good. Wizard was in that one.
Wizard, what? Fuck, Wizard was in that. Everyone was in that except for Gaim, right?
Gaim wasn't there.
Gaim was never. No, he wasn't there in person. But they
I'm pretty sure he did
else.
do voiceover.
Yeah,
but they couldn't get him on set. I think he was busy.
Yeah, he showed up with Mr. Belt.
Yes, that's right. Because we had to keep justifying.
Yeah,
the dumbass ending of Drive. Where the Belt fucking seals himself in a bunker.
Fucking awesome. I remember that very clearly because he jumps into the scene and hands Shinosuke the belt. And he's like, he came and woke me up in the vault, but I guess that's what you can expect from a god.
Whatever. No, you can't hold bad content.
I can hold it against the character. Is what I'm saying. Is the point that started this. Is I do judge Guy by his actions in that, but I don't judge 01 by the fact that exists.
Poppy Peepa Pop was in this movie, apparently.
Poppy Peepa Pop. She was.
No, she wasn't.
Not
as a character.
But never as a character.
No, never.
Imagine. I'm fishing up bits of X-Aid information out of my brain. I wish I'd watched the trick one where Joe and Kyria fucked in a hospital.
Oh man, I wish I could say. Wonder Wish, thank you so much for following.
The thing is, 2016 Jay would have fucking loved that.
Oh, I loved it when I saw
it. I would look back fondly on watching that.
Oh, it's probably dead. Like, there's probably no way to watch it.
Yeah.
You'd have to find it on someone's hard drive or some shit.
Oh, fuck. Oh, Kamen Rider Lost Media.
No, the thing that we were all fucking hammering 01 for during, like, the mid to late point of its runtime was, character, like, lack of, like, character interaction.
Yeah.
Like, when we all started to really realize that Aruto doesn't really actually have a relationship with, like, any of the other characters.
Yeah, the Aruto, in fact, has no friends.
That, like...
I remember that...
We did push that up, maybe, like... We did really fucking ran on that a lot, but I don't think it was entirely undeserved, because it really was true that he had, like, no connection with Fuwa at all.
Yeah, that one scene where they're sat on that bench and Fuwa gets him something from a vending machine is
That's it, man.
I remember it very clearly because it's the only fucking scene to remember. And then the one point, the only other thing I can think of is the one bit where they've both had the shit beat out of them and they're going to get into another fight and Fuwa's like, oh yeah, if you transform, it'll hurt less. The rider system can like take some of the slack from your fucked up injuries, and Aruto's like, oh
cool.
Shit, I wouldn't have thought of that. And that's it.
They had one moment where he authorizes the Buster and hands it.
Yes, I was thinking of that as well because he can't do the fucking.
He can't do 01.
He can't do the gun attack. Yeah, funny. And the bit early on where, like, after he gets out of surgery from getting absolutely clattered by Hirobi, and he's talking to Aruto about, he's like, "Oh, I guess a humor gear saved me," but then none of that matters because those memories were fake anyway.
That was so crazy.
No, fuck!
Do you know who didn't write that?
Who didn't write?
Takahashi. He didn't write that arc. No. The arc, the two-parter where Thouser tells him that all his memories are, like, all his traumatic memories are fake. Takahashi didn't write that shit.
Huh.
He didn't write that shit. Like, somebody went off the fucking rail. I don't know. I mean, I guess that was the plan. I don't know, but he didn't write that. It was weird.
That is very weird. I do kind of love that scene where he finds out about the memories, because I remember people playing the that scene with the X8 opening over it.
So X8. I honestly forget that's not actually how that episode went.
It's
like there actually was like 10 minutes of episode after that.
Yeah, the credits playing over that.
Awesome.
Isamu Fua.
That was such a whack. I don't even want to criticize it necessarily because it's so weird. Why would you set up this character to unlearn his prejudice against machines and then tell him that he never had a reason to do so in the first place?
What was the thinking?
What was the end result of that? He kind of just didn't really bother with it.
Yeah.
Right?
It kind of didn't amount really to very much.
I mean, he kind of like had a shocked reaction for it for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then he got up and beat his ass.
Yeah.
Just to make Bowser a dick, I guess.
We already fucking all hated him by that point, though. And then they gave him a little doggy. And his... Oh! No, it didn't start with them giving him a little doggy. That was the payoff.
Do you remember? The backstory was that
his dad's started.
No. The backstory is that when he was a child, his dad yelled at him one time for
getting a B?
Like getting a B on a test or something, and then of his own volition, you'd think that the story would be his dad takes his most prized favorite toy and breaks it. He just did that.
He just put it in a box and got rid of it.
He did it himself.
He made himself this way.
He did that himself. Like his dad didn't force him to do it or like break it or take it away from him. He just got yelled at by his dad one time and just decided to be evil.
Oh, funny.
I mean, obviously, it implies that happens multiple,
it
chose
to
do that. It's such a weird. It was such a weird.
Very,
thing.
very odd, very strange. The thing I just remembered is Aruto. I think it was Aruto, inventing that little
fucking Siri, the therapy bot.
The therapy bot who literally came in and fixed everyone's fucking character development with one conversation each.
Yeah, because Aruto couldn't have that conversation with them because he doesn't know them. He literally would just roll up and be like, "Hey,
who?
Why don't you fix your character development with this?"
Yeah,
bye.
He would literally give it. When you was in the fucking hospital bed, he came in and put it on that little table at the foot of the bed, and then she was fine. He literally left the room, and they had a conversation, and were fine. Fucking that! I genuinely, even at the time, I was like, this is such blatant, like, fucking plot, like, cavity filler. To get the characters where they need to be, that I actually cannot be upset about it because it's so fucking funny.
It was fucking funny.
It's so, like, because there's no other read. They literally handed them a fucking pocket therapist to fix their fucking character.
Amazon Alexa.
So awesome.
I know they lost like 5 episodes.
I know they lost. No, believe me, I know they lost 5 episodes. I mourn
those 5 episodes every day.
Every single day. I will never forget all the good that could have come out of those 5 episodes. The weirdest thing is that the first episode back was very much a condensation of the fucking 5 episodes they didn't have. Because, like, a couple of arcs happened in 20 minutes. Fua's whole thing with his family, where he goes to see them, but doesn't actually go and see them. And he's like, oh, I'm fine with that. Definitely something that was going to happen over a couple of weeks.
Definitely something that was supposed to happen, and they were just like, we have to follow up because we put it on the table.
We got to do it.
You know, at least Takahashi follows up with what he puts on the table.
Yes, I will say that. For
you know what? That's a good thing. When Takahashi puts something on the table, he picks it up and eats it. Whether it's good or not, he follows up on almost everything that he puts down. Mostly. Which is more than you can say about Revice.
Easily.
Because Revice will put a bunch of shit on the table and then flip the fucking table.
It's not quite the thing, but you know that one fucking bit from Courage the Cowardly Dog with the soup?
No.
I only know it for the Godzilla thing, where it's like too much political commentary. Not enough political commentary.
Yeah.
It's that, that one. Revice does that. But it's not quite. Too much focus on George. Not enough focus.
Maybe we were too hard on 2-1.
No.
No.
I'll never forgive. I refuse to. The thing I was getting at with that episode though is like that felt very much to me like them doing the Cliff's Notes versions of everything they didn't get to do, and I was like, when I watched that, I was like, fine, I get it. You lost like 4 weeks of television, but this is the stuff that was important out of it. Fine, it was a little rushed. Whatever, I get it. And then it went off the rails. That is what gets me about that, because I was like, okay, we got all the important character beats you wanted to do over the last few weeks.
Now let's kill Izu.
Now let's fucking kill Izu for nothing. Now let's take all those characters that we just got up to the point we need them at for the end game
and throw them in the trash.
All of them. Every single one. This, in fact, did you not know this was the Hirobi and Naruto show the entire time? And fuck everyone else.
Fuck everyone else.
And then remake her.
And then I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about Izu 2.
We don't need to get into Izu 2.
That's a moral dilemma.
It's not really a dilemma, it just shouldn't have happened. It's a moral dilemma now that she's there. But the dilemma should have happened before.
I don't want to. Okay, do you know they did the same thing in Halo?
Yes, they did,
Halo
didn't
Infinite,
they?
They did the same thing where at the end of the game, they Okay, in Halo Infinite, in Halo 5, Cortana goes evil or whatever. She goes sicko mode.
Yeah. Well, she's supposed to die in 4, right?
She died in 4, and then I don't remember. There is an actual statement on whether or not they had planned to revive her like that. I don't remember which way they leaned. I can't remember if she was always supposed to die there and just that was it, or if they had always planned to do this arc with her. I really, truly cannot remember, but it totally doesn't matter. Halo 5, she went evil, she went sicko mode, and Halo 6, we're just going to call it Halo 6 from now on, they created basically a copy of Cortana, but one with a slightly different... they created a copy of Cortana, basically from scratch, so it was like you think of it like her little sister or something, she has a similar personality and she looks and sounds the same, but she doesn't have the edge to her that Cortana had from being around for so long. So she's called the Weapon, and her personality is that she's really kind of bubbly and kind of naive about things, where Cortana was always kind of snarky and had a hard edge.
Said a lot of British curse words.
Yeah, just the one time.
Just that
one time, because I said that, right? I told you that Cortana was originally recorded with a British accent.
Funny.
Anyway, at the end of Halo 6, near the end of Halo 6, the Weapon... This is the part about Halo 6 that bothers me the most, is that she didn't know that she was a copy of Cortana, despite the fact that she looks and sounds exactly the same, and she has to know what Cortana looks and sounds like. At the very least, she knows what Cortana sounds like because you've been hearing her voice the entire game. But it's this huge revelation, but just to her, that she's a copy of Cortana. It's so weird. It's such a jarring point in the game. You can go back to me playing it on stream, and I'm so confused as to how that's news to her. Because I just assumed that she would know that, because it's obvious. Anyway, at the end of the game, finally, they're maybe we should stop calling this bitch the Weapon. And they're what should we call her? And then she's I think I know. And then they fade to black. But it's the implication, obviously, that she named herself Cortana.
Oy.
Like, it's like, but she's a different person. Like, it's the same thing that, like, this is what I was getting at, is that it bugs me that, very quickly, it bugs me that Izu 2 is also just called Izu because she's a different person. Except I don't think she is anymore, right?
Did I
make that up, or did they, like...
Did she get
like, her memories back or something in the movie?
Which I recall you discussing at the time when Izu 2 happened at first. You were like, there really is no good way out of this.
No.
Like, either, except if she, like...
them. Okay, I guess that's maybe the only way it could work.
About as good as it gets, huh?
It bugs me to have a character that is, like, very specifically not Izu and have them treat her like she is. But if they fuse them, I guess that's, like... I mean, what else are you gonna do, you know? Yeah. It's, like, the only thing you can do, really. It's the only good way out of it. Almost. Killing her was a bad idea. No. Yeah, you just gotta smooth it out. You just gotta smooth it out.
All this is talking about a solution to a problem they brother in the first place, yeah. You chose to do.
I'm fine with it because it doesn't bother me anymore. But anyway, but it does bother me in Halo because Cortana is Cortana is Cortana.
Yeah, a very distinct character.
Robo said it, but I didn't mention this for anybody who doesn't know, but they did kill Cortana off screen in Halo 6.
I was thinking about that because it's all about the Banished, isn't it?
Yeah,
the villains from Halo Wars 2.
That's right. And a couple of novels.
Fucking that. I actually still...
That's unbelievable, right?
I can't. What the fuck?
It was good. That? Like, it made sense in some kind of way, but it was weird. No, the big reveal, like, at the very end of the game, is that Cortana, who was all ready to go forward with her universal domination plan to dominate the entire universe, like, peace by brute force sort of thing.
The big thing at the end of Halo 5.
Yeah, and when she came to the Halo ring, I don't really remember what happened. I don't really remember how she got, but she basically got backed into a corner by fucking brutes, of all things. And basically suicide bombed herself to break the ring. I don't really remember. It was really dumb and kind of bad, and it was like literally past tense. Like, you never even see Cortana again in real in Halo 6. The last time you see her alive is in Halo 5. Like, she's already dead when you get there. Like, sorry, this is spoilers, I guess anybody fucking cares. But, like, the twist in Halo Infinite is that Cortana has been dead the whole time. Like, she's been dead since before you even got there. And she died having, like, a last-minute change of heart or something. I don't know. It was so sloppy. And the game barely even had a story to begin with. I really don't like it. But anyway, that is to say that Cortana was her own fucking character. And if the new one is also going to be called Cortana, that just doesn't feel right, you know?
No, that's
there's so many other things they could have named her, because Cortana is a sword from I forget what lore. But like we spent months speculating what the weapons, like, because we're all like, obviously she's going to get a real name, you know, Durandal, or some of the other swords that are associated with. I know, right? Imagine.
Fuck.
But that's why Cortana is called that, because that's another sword associated with Durandal. Or like, are they going to name her that? Or are they going to name her? There was something else that some people were. But we had there was months of theory crafting about what her name would be, and it's just fucking Cortana.
Fucked. Yeah, from Zenkai.
Yeah, from Zenkai. Yeah. And it's just like, not only one is it fucking confusing, because now, you know, assuming there's ever another fucking Halo game, but it's like, do you mean Cortana, or do you mean the other fucking Cortana? Are we just gonna keep calling her the weapon?
Cortana Prime.
You say Siri, but you know that Cortana actually is a Siri program on Windows phones, right?
Yeah. Google Assistant.
It was a Google.
It was a Google.
I'm hoping they retcon that. I'm hoping they just stop making Halo games, actually.
Yeah, I
Just
think we can
back
only
it up.
retcon the endings of the previous ones so many times before it starts being like, well, why are you still doing it?
Joyous. Yeah, that would have been fun.
That's, French?
That's Charlemagne's sword.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that from Fate.
I thought, yeah. As soon as you said Charlemagne, I was like, I wonder where that comes from.
I know that from Fate Extella. Not FGO.
It all comes back to Fate.
It all comes back to Fate.
Oh, it's FGO?
That's how I say it.
Oh, I've been saying FGO all this time.
No, that's how Hirogi says it, and I never heard anybody else say it out loud like that until that. I was like, is that how you say it? I say FGO.
That may... It's the FGO.
Yeah.
That's just one of those things, because like I've been hearing about Fate since... Jesus, I mean, I guess since I started following you, right?
Fate Grand Order. No, we were friends
Order.
before I started liking Fate. Surely.
Really?
Surely.
When did you get into it? I feel like that was before my time.
I don't know.
I
try not to think about it too hard.
Yeah. I guess actually if you think about what we were both doing when we like started being friends, it's not worth going.
I don't really remember. When I started getting into Toku, I was still into My Little Pony.
I don't even...
That was before you liked Toku. Because I started like 2 or 3 years before you did.
Yeah, you guys were all pretty well established when I got in there.
Yes. Rob remembers.
Rob remembers. I knew Rob would remember.
Rob remembers. When I started getting into Toku, I had a fucking pony URL for a while before I changed it.
I actually can't remember because I only remember like forever your blog had the old URL before it was this. But
yeah,
every now and again I'll come across old posts.
That old URL was mine for like 3 to 4 years.
Really long time.
Yeah.
That was like your like what Bionic is for Rob.
Yeah.
It would have been strange if that changed, but I will every now and again come across old posts from you, and it's like it's still got the theming, but like just themed after whatever.
Yeah.
The X-Aid one is the one I'm thinking of, which is just unthinkable.
So regrettable that me and Aaron did that. We both.
Oh,
did
and
that.
Aaron too.
Yeah, me and Aaron both did that, and then Aaron deleted her whole entire blog.
Because of that.
Yeah, no, I think it was an accident.
Oh fuck.
That was a good URL though. If X8 had been good, that URL would
If X8 had been good, that would have
killed.
Really good. I can never change my URL again, I don't think.
Nope.
I think I couldn't.
2 months. I feel like you were that for years.
How was yours ever something different? You've always
I feel like that was that for years. I felt like it was forever. The X8 was a long, like every day the X8 was a fucking
was a long
fucking.
It's the thing, yeah. You know, I don't even read Full Bottles as a build reference anymore. That's just
an Aaron is.
Yeah.
None of us can change our URLs.
It's kind of set now, right?
I mean, I literally can't. Unless I retire. Like, I can't unless I retire or, like, rebrand.
The thing is, I know I used to have different ones, but I don't remember what they were. I don't remember what it was before it was this.
Isn't it an Ultraman thing?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I genuinely can't remember. 47, that's right.
69.
69.
Got him. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. You should buy it.
You should buy it.
I can't, you know, that's the only downside. I can't change my URL or my icon. Ever. Like I can't do it, you know?
Yeah.
If I change it, it has to be another. It has to be me always. I have to keep the brand. Sometimes I convince myself to do it on Discord, but like I have a brand here. I can't like.
Discord nicknames are such a blessing because they let you just do whatever.
Sometimes I change my icon on Discord, but I can't change my icon on social media. Like I can't live that life anymore. I don't have that freedom. I can't even change my @ on Twitter. I guess I could. Who gives a shit? I mean, like not the @ but like the title. Because you also have to use that for like making sure people know who you are. But I guess I could if I really wanted to. Who gives a fuck? I'm not out here trying to do stuff. Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit?
Imagine if Revice had come out like in 2016 and we all had Revice URLs for a bit.
You say that, but fucking me and Aaron did have matching Revice icons for a minute.
When you said about you and Aaron doing the X8 thing, I was like, I remember you having the Revice icons.
And you know what?
A year ago. And it was just as regrettable now. No, it wasn't. No.
Not as regrettable.
Because an icon is one thing.
Not as regrettable.
Not as regrettable. Imagine the evil live icon URLs. Simpler times.
Simpler times. No, me and Aaron did that for a couple weeks. And then one of us gave up. I think Aaron cracked first.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I have an actual brand. Like I have an actual vested interest in like having a brand here. Aaron fucking cracked first. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I might have done first. I think we just basically gave up at the exact same time.
Yeah. I remember it going around then.
Yeah.
Every now and again I think about how absolutely fucked up it would be if Flowers ever changed their URL.
I couldn't. Flowers just never changes shit. Ever.
Never
Flowers ever. Doesn't even change. Flowers changes her fucking icon like once every 5 years.
It's always such a shock when it happens too. Every time it happens, I'll scroll down and I'll see it and I'll be like,
who the fuck is that? Flowers hasn't even changed her blog header, which is a thing that I wrote like 9 years ago.
I love reading that and remembering and being like, oh yeah, it's that thing Vee wrote. Which is so far removed from
the context and also isn't funny anymore.
Yeah, it very much reads like something that was written a great many years ago.
Like basically a decade ago. It's not funny anymore. Every once a year, people will be like, "What does your fucking header mean?"
What is that?
And Flowers will be like, "Oh, it's a thing that fucking Riley wrote like 10 years ago. Maybe I should change it." I'm like, "Please change it."
Every time.
Please fucking change it.
Please, you have to have something else.
I feel like it would cause an earthquake if she changed it.
It's true though. I mean, I get it. It's just too ingrained. It's part of the landscape.
Yeah, whenever Flowers changes her icon, it's like a new era for all of us.
It is.
It's like the fucking era. It's like the fucking Flowers should have changed her shit when the Heisei era ended.
Load-bearing blog type.
If Flowers changes her shit, Ray will end right now.
That's it.
That's it. We're done.
Empire's finished.
Do you think that people at Toei were like really fucking excited when they learned that Heisei would end just right there when they needed it to? 20 years.
Must have been.
I mean, the Heisei era was longer than that, obviously, but
yeah, but for them, for their purposes,
it was perfect. It was perfect.
That must have felt so good. Technically,
we
get to round it out.
Technically, it did end in the middle of the season, but that's not the point.
You do what you can.
You do what you gotta do.
RX was like that as well.
Yeah.
So funny that RX was the first Heisei season.
Technically.
technically. A thing I always love about Gio and the Heisei stuff is there was I think it was just on his own YouTube channel, Masahiro Inoue and whatever Kaito's actor is called, were doing like a little sit-down talk while I think either near the end of Gio or after the end.
It had to be near the. It had to be either near or after. It's the only time they were ever actually on set together.
Exactly, yeah. It was around that point, but they had a sit-down talk, and at one point they were talking, and Kaito's actor was like, they were talking about like what they think the next anniversary thing will be, and he was like, well, for the Heisei 30th, and he keeps talking for a bit, and then he cuts, and he goes, there won't be a Heisei 30th. And he just goes, oh,
shit,
right, yeah. No, the other thing.
The Reiwa.
There's no way.
5th. They won't do that. They'll do Reiwa 10, but they won't do Reiwa 5.
They'll do Reiwa 10.
We're good
and
for a couple years.
Will they get Decade in it again?
No. Will they get 0-1 in it?
Will they get 0-1 in it? That's so
the real
far,
question.
evidence would suggest no.
Evidence would suggest fucking no.
Apparently. Remember when he was in Superhero Senki for literally one scene?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Neo Decade.
When oh fuck! If they do Reiwa Decade, that would be so with Masahiro again. I want it.
Neo Geo.
I do remember Masahiro also being like, I think they'll do the Reiwa 10 Gio and me. I think that'll be what they'll get for the movie that year.
He's like just calling. He's like just swinging out. Like, yep.
He's like,
I'll
be in
put
it.
In my fucking schedule.
I'll be. It's great because every time he talks about being something, he's like, yeah. I mean, I keep thinking this will be the last thing I'm in, but they keep calling. So.
Yeah, that's what he said last time.
Yeah, like he can't not pick up the phone.
You could just say no.
You could just say no.
Has he ever said no to anything?
Literally, I don't think so. They were like, we need something to keep 2 extra episodes of Wizard War.
I got it.
Get the fucking one man who is always available on the phone.
Get the one man we need. It's supposed to be Reiwa Gaim. I think you're too far ahead of the timeline.
You're jumping ahead. It's Reiwa 5, isn't it? It's the notion of how it works.
Yes.
I love Reiwa number theory for this. It's already so.
Yeah,
good.
no, it's Reiwa Ryuki. It's the first one, so it's Ryuki. It's the first writer conflict.
Yeah,
season,
it is.
So it's fucking Ryuki.
Oh, but that doesn't line up.
No, it doesn't.
That's annoying. That's one off.
Was Saber Agito to you?
I have got it in my head. This wasn't my argument, but I've seen it and just internalized it because I think it's so fucking funny. Is that Agito and Saber's connection is they're both dragons?
Politically.
Officially, brackets, politically, Agito is a dragon. In all other terms, he is a stag beak. One of the funniest exchanges ever had. I think.
Saber would have been good if Gills was in it.
Fuck, one of them should have been like that.
That's kind of what Kenzan.
Agito and Saber did both fight God.
Is that what happened with Saber?
Is that I was saying this? I was thinking the same thing. I was like, is that right? Was Solomon kind of God?
I think Storius
Isaac.
was.
They made the world or something? I don't know.
Storius was God.
Storius was. Revice and Ryuki line up because of contracts.
Holy shit.
This is what I mean. It's as good as number theory, but it's actually dumber because you're looking.
So wait, what was Kuga?
This I actually can't remember what it was beyond. It was either just that they were nebulously the first one, which is nothing, or that they were both bugs, which is also nothing because that is theoretically something that
every writer is.
All of them.
They're both about violence bad.
Yeah. Rewrite the
So
world.
Geats will be about miscommunication.
Fuck, I hope not.
What else was Fies about?
Yeah, what up?
Yep, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Fuck. What? Fives was about nothing. Dreams a bit.
No.
Sometimes when it remembered.
Not sometimes. Once.
One time. The one time it remembered. It was about the Lucky Clover Gang, actually.
You know, Rob, you're not wrong. Like,
no, I get it. I see it.
I know what you're saying, and like I can't disagree with that, like fundamentally. But
however,
I love that comparison. I love that comparison, and you know what I'm gonna say. And I love that comparison because Godai and Daguva fought on a snowy mountaintop in the most dramatic fucking way possible, and Aruto and Horobi fought on a fucking parking deck.
In the mid floor
of a parking deck.
Not the top with a view. In the middle.
Just a random parking deck.
A floor. They did fight on the top for a bit, but the big fight happened in the middle. With Realizing Harper. That was just in a parking deck.
They had no money. To be fair to them, maybe that was really all they could do, like, in terms of, like, restrictions.
Yeah, maybe that was... was that literally the Toei parking lot? Because I like to think it was.
I'm pretty sure that's the same set they used for Baron Rex's debut.
Yeah, it's hard to say. They all
look the same.
Like that, yeah. A lot of the places they film are like just various...
No, obviously nobody can get to that fucking... Hibiki banned filming outside forever. Hibiki ruined it for everybody.
That's it.
We need to film every scene on location. Please, can we not?
No, we have to.
We have to film every scene on location, please. We're not selling any fucking toys. Please.
You are spending all the money.
Maybe, do you think he could have been okay if they just were willing to fucking let up on that a little bit?
I wonder.
If he was willing to willing to meet them halfway, maybe he would have been fine.
It's such a gamble, telling Toei to fuck right off, because sometimes it works really well.
When?
Kuga,
oh yeah. Okay,
they did what the fuck they wanted.
That's the only time it ever worked, because
that's it.
Because
Kuga
nobody knew what they were doing.
It's true. There was no
framework. They knew that Kuga was making fucking tons of money. And so every time Bandai tried to be, or like Bandai or Toei tried to be like, hey, can you maybe do this? And they'd be like, hey, who's making all your fucking money right now? Fuck off.
Who just bought Kamen Rider back?
I don't fucking think so. Fuck off.
Get out. Fucking get out.
Kiss my ass. Talk to me when you've made as much money as I have.
Yeah.
Go sell those toys. You sell the toys and I'll make the art, okay?
Yeah. Oh, you want to keep Mighty for future use? Fuck yourself.
No. I spray painted that bitch.
That's it. We have irreparably painted it black, and you'll never get it
myself.
Back.
You fucking idiot. Do I come to your fucking office and tell you how to sell the toys? No. So get the fuck off the set.
Their principal actor being like, by the way, we're not doing any of the dumb shit.
By the way,
we're not doing any of the... By the way, I fucking hate Tokusatsu, so we're not doing any of the dumb shit, right? And they're like, okay, yeah, we won't.
We won't do any of the dumb shit.
We actually won't.
The Juga. See, but it doesn't work in any other case, because if you try to tell Toei to fuck off, they just fire you.
They just fire you. I wish... It would have been so... Wait. What number was Hibiki?
7?
6.
6.
If it had been the 5th one, it would have been so great if he just kept telling him to fuck off and they hadn't fired him and he'd sunk the whole thing by spending all the money.
Yes!
Kamen Rider's on air for 5 years.
The last season.
Fuck, imagine. That would be so insane.
I really
looking
feel
back
like,
on Heisei Kamen Rider and being like,
feel like if he had been willing to play ball a little bit, we probably wouldn't have gotten fired.
Yeah, I think there was probably some degree of compromise he could have made.
You can't take such a hardline stance when you work for shit like that, man.
Yeah, you gotta be willing to accept the fact these are in fact the dudes paying you.
Although maybe, maybe people in his position now these days giving them too much to work with. You know? Maybe now everybody just rolls over like a dog when fucking Bandai tells them to.
You seem a little bit like no one's willing to kind of say, well, no, we won't do that. There's a middle ground, I'm sure, between letting them just put any old dumb shit they want in the show. Speaking of,
I don't know
by
what
the
that
way,
middle ground is, though.
no, I couldn't imagine what that looks like. It's never happened yet. But speaking of letting them put any old bullshit in the show, I feel like that whole thing about Hikaru's actor's agency has got to be true at this point. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, because there's no other explanation. Because they gave him what? How many episodes was that? Like
too many.
5? Too many. It was at least 5. To go from being nothing to being a writer to having this whole backstory with the Weekend family, to having his big final moment with Akashi, to being hospitalized and giving the title over to Tamaki, who should have had it from the beginning.
I'm very confused on why they finally decided to relent on that character at the very end.
I guess he got his moment. He got his big thing.
Yeah, I guess he got his moment.
Yeah, that has to have been outside.
Somebody at Toei must have finally been like, all right, you've had enough. We've had this guy since the beginning of the show. We obviously set him up to do this. He's going to be the character in the movie. Give that shit over here.
Right now. You had your thing. You did the big fucking Genomics kick, which awesome, by the way.
Which literally didn't work, by the way.
Which literally did not work. Now he's hospitalized. And he just he's like, he wakes up and he's like, oh, Tamaki, I've been meaning to give you this.
Yeah.
Fucking funny.
Fuck off.
Fuck right off. Worst guy. Worst guy ever. Yeah, I cannot imagine that has done anything for his reputation at all. I wouldn't want to work with that guy now.
Shouldn't exist. He should have just been demons.
Yeah, what was the point? Okay, I would be fine with over demons as a power-up. Like, he gets demons and then gets over... Like, if Tamaki had got demons and then got over demons later to keep up.
Yeah.
However, that is with the caveat that over demons not be literally the worst suit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Which it still is. Far and away, easily the worst in show. Maybe the worst ever.
Oh, pretty bad.
There are a lot of bad suits, but it's like, it's fucking up there because it is barely even designed.
They just glued stuff to it.
They made a new head for it, right? And like a new eye for the shoulder, because the Veil one didn't have that because it was a different beetle. It works better on Tamaki, but I think that might be because we don't hate him.
Because soon as you chopped out, that can't be.
Fuck.
That can't be it.
To go be someone else who's not.
Alright, I'm done. Fuck off. At least that guy gets to do cool stuff.
Yeah, it's true. He gets to be a shark. He gets to be Outbreak Killer. That's a huge step up for a second.
You know, that guy wasn't in today's episode.
No, he wasn't. We had Sonoe show up and do the thing he's been doing, which is fight with Jiro.
It's just every week it's just somebody needs to fight with that guy.
We gotta get something for
him. We need to pay Romy Park every week.
Yeah.
Having not watched
even though they recorded that line once and he gets paid every time it's played.
That's right. And not watched anything since 2010. I mean, that's just how it is. This conversation is probably more enjoyable if you have no fucking idea what we're talking about. Oh my god. Yes, that's why. Dude, he can only do one thing he doesn't want to do at a time. They're like, you have to put Donbrothers in the show. And he's like, alright. And they're like, can you put some avatar changes in there too? And he's like, pick one, boss. You only get one.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one. Like, it's one or the other, boss man. What do you want?
He's under. I think he gets 2, but he already had to write a 6th Ranger, and that's a full-time commitment. So that's using up one slot permanently.
Can I not put this guy in the episode? No, you have to put the 6th Ranger in the episode. All right.
Okay.
Well,
you get one other thing.
You get one other thing, and
every
5 episodes, I just get to go insane.
Yeah. And one other character has to be written out completely, and it's going to be Inu Brother again.
Not this time.
Not this time.
Not next time.
For better or worse.
And worse.
And definitely worse. He's going to eat spaghetti like a dog.
Did you see in that?
They put him in a collar.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you see the leash that I had him in?
I did see the collar and leash and him eating out of a dog bowl again, but this time as a I think Inoue needs to get out.
They also changed stuff in the target and Inoue made less mecha stuff. Does Inoue not like mecha? I mean, it's an easy assumption because he fucking hates everything. Like, that's not character drama. He hates all the actual genre trappings of the genre he chooses to spend all his time ready for.
I was thinking about that earlier. Like, I remember Rob brought this up. Like, he loves the whole dual life thing.
He definitely loves heroes, but he sure hates writing anything. He hates writing heroes actually doing things.
Everything else. He cannot rightly be said to be a good tokusatsu writer.
And yet, here we are.
And yet here we are, but the thing is that all of the writing he does and all of the tokusatsu that happens are divided by a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like, he'll do the... Okay, this is what got me thinking about it. Like, you know how the robot... Like, how power-ups in his shows notoriously just show up, right?
Yeah.
Like, they get thrown at the characters' heads. The Robotaros are just there. There's no getting them. They just have those now.
Yeah.
In other shows, those things would be the payoff to an emotional story.
No.
But in an Inoue show, the emotional story is entirely unrelated, and then also they just get a new toy.
And also they just pulled them out as if they had them the whole time.
And they had them the whole time. The Robotaros, they just could have done that at any point.
There wasn't even a throwaway line like, "Oh, we got these because..."
Nothing. Nothing.
Momotaro pulls his out, and I'm like, okay, Momotaro had his the whole time because he obviously has more of an inkling of what's going on than everybody else. And then everybody else pulls him out too. You can literally go back and watch us like react to that, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Donbrothers, and maybe Oni's sister too because she had like an arc, right?
Yeah.
And then Sour Brother and the others pulled theirs out too. And I'm like, where did they get those? Like, why do they have those?
Had it.
Why? What? Yeah. Inoue hates Ultraman because the giant fights don't feel like they have real physical consequences. Okay, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard anybody say in my life. Not Rob, I mean Inoue.
Yeah.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yes. Unthinkable.
What an insane person.
What a man!
What a man who seems to only want to write hero media despite the fact that he fucking hates it.
Very, very, very strange.
Hey, Tamaki, thanks so much for following. Welcome. Oh, you're playing Zone of the Enders? I have that. I should play that. I have it on PS4. I never actually played it. Inoue is insane.
Inoue is insane. But
Inoue clearly loves.
Yeah, I get it. No, I get it because you can't do the whole.
I get it, but like
his interpersonal drama thing. That is the only thing he keeps coming back.
I get it. Like, I get what he wants to do. I only just take issue with his just outrageous lack of respect for anything that doesn't interest him.
Yeah, it's pretty egregious.
I mean, we spent like an hour like 2 weeks ago talking about how the fight scenes in Donbrothers are just the most phoned in bullshit.
He just does not care. Supremely.
Unless it's his big gay rivals.
Yeah, which
thing.
He has to have.
Which is fine. That's what he's known for, and it is interesting and it's great.
It's good.
All the rest of the fights are so phoned in. It's just because
every time.
It's just because I mean, it all comes back to. It really does. It literally all comes back to. All the way back in Jetman, Inoue wanted to have episodes that had no fighting in them.
Yeah.
And Toei told him no, obviously. But
The
all the way back then,
no.
he's expressed an interest in having just pure character, just multiple episodes in a row, assumably, of just pure character drama. No bad guys, no Jetman, no mechas, no fighting, just character stuff. And then, assumably, every so often he would actually have a hero fights or whatever, but like...
Yeah, as needed. No
clear,
monsters of the week.
It's always been clear that Inoue is not interested in writing what he's not interested in writing. And what he's not interested in writing is what he has to write.
Yeah.
So now,
it's like,
that's what we said last time. Like, he should be writing regular dramas, but it's clear that he wants to write hero stories.
Really, he really does. He needs that element to it. He can't. It's like foundational to the way he thinks about character relationships, is to have that alternate angle of like having the hero life and the normal life is so integral. In theory,
he needs to write Toku. It seems to be the only damn thing that interests him.
Yeah.
Except for when he just goes completely off the shit.
Yeah. Except when he just fucking goes absolutely.
The thing about
deranged.
this is that, like, even though in theory, I'd like to see Inoue just write what he wants without being forced to interject elements that he doesn't care about, because it is jarring and boring, frankly, to watch the stuff that he doesn't care about. It's very obvious when he's phoning it in.
You can really
especially
feel it,
in Donbrothers, because just like the overall tone of Donbrothers being a lot like higher, like a lot more of an upbeat overall tone in Donbrothers than like Vise, Kiva.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When in Kiva, I shouldn't say that because I haven't watched Kiva, I meant Vise. In Vise, when Inoue is phoning something in, sometimes it's harder to tell because the overall tone of Vise is so fucking bleak that it's hard to tell if he's writing something bleak or boring because he doesn't care about it, or if that's because that's the tone that he wants to evoke.
Yeah.
But with Donbrothers, because it's so high energy, when there are things that he doesn't fucking care about, like fight scenes, Don Goku, Don Murasame, most of those things, mechas, it's obvious that he doesn't care because he just farts them out. You know, oh yeah, Don Goku, whatever. There's a shark guy and he fights them, and they get in the big robot and they do the things and they make some quips, whatever. It's like a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
you know. So
it's a
lot easier to tell in this show specifically when he cares and when he doesn't care, which is interesting to dissect as a writer what he is. And never try to write anything boring on purpose. Yeah, I mean... But here's the thing. The thing is that I'm saying that I would like to see Inoue at his... only, like, to write things that only he cares about. But then we get shit like Writer Time Geo.
Oy, fucking...
If you remove those fucking restraints from Inoue, what he turns out is pure fucking trash.
It's
overindulgent garbage.
It's just the worst. That, I think, when I remember the atmosphere when we were watching Zenkai, when we found out he was the head writer for this, and that was the most recent Toku thing he'd done, and it was bleak.
It was bleak.
We were not fucking happy about that at all. And I still agree that we were right not to be, because this being as enjoyable as it has been was never on the cards.
No.
This was never an outcome.
He shouldn't write stuff that's not his own characters. That's also a problem. But I think yes, but also you could easily say that a lot of Ryuki's characters are just as much his as they are Kobayashi's. Maybe more so now, considering that Kobayashi doesn't touch fucking Rider anymore. You know, so when he wrote Rider to Ryuki and it fucking sucked, that was all him. Because they let him do whatever he wanted. Presumably. There were no toys
Yeah.
to sell. You know? Inoue is not the guy they should call to write random shit, but they call him and he says yes.
He says yes, he's happy to do it.
Wish you wouldn't.
Well, I don't know if happy, because there's no joy in any of those fucking things, but...
Happy to get paid, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that in a way, I mean, but you can point to things that are his characters that are disgusting, like the Fies novel. Like that he wrote that we're not going to talk about because it's horrible. And assumably that was him without restraint, and it was terrible. So, like, you can go look it up if you want. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Just trust me on this one. If you don't know what happens in the Fies novel, you're really honestly better off not knowing. Trust me on this. But, like, that was in a way, presumably without Toei and Bandai, you know, standing over top of him and making sure that what he turns out is acceptable.
Yeah.
So it's a paradox because you want to see what Inoue wants to, you want to know what Inoue wants to tell you, but if you loosen that leash too much, you get something that's just irredeemable. So I don't know. Like, there's no good answer to this guy.
No, I feel like Donbrothers is kind of the best balance you strike.
Maybe. It's certainly the most enjoyable.
Yeah, Jesus. Easily. I am thinking about now, though, because I'm thinking about like other Sentai that I've watched, which is admittedly a very short list still. But yeah, the mech fights generally have some degree of creativity and imagination in them. Something will happen.
What, in Donbrothers?
No, in general. In other shows. It's kind of expected that there will be something that goes on to make them stand out, rather than just being the robot shows up, throws a few punches, does a finisher.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really just isn't in this, ever.
That's one of the
Or
directors.
like the monster will do its gimmick.
I mean, I guess that's on the directors, but
he's not writing anything for them to direct.
Yeah, he's not writing them anything special. He probably just leaves that shit blank. Like, that's what I mean. I mean...
Yeah, exactly. Like, the directors are doing their best with that, but in other shows, there would be things happening in those fights. Like, there would be conversations, maybe paying off the arc of the episode.
Yeah, or we can only win the fight because this character had a moment and they figured out how to win, or like whatever.
This is what I mean when I say I can't really, the more I think about it in good conscience, say he's a good toku writer, because all of this stuff not all the time. You do get by the numbers mech fights, but it's never connected to what's happened in an episode.
Inoue's fight scenes are the most by the numbers, like, ever, unless it's something he cares about.
Yeah, but like the whole team fights and the mech fights are just, it has to be here. Do whatever with the action.
I think it's less noticeable in his Kamen Riders, because when he's just phoning in a fight scene in like Fies or like Agito or whatever, those statistically speaking, those fight scenes don't take up as much time, and they don't have to go through a bunch of stock footage.
Yeah.
You know, like when the mech fights in Donbrothers are boring,
it's a lot.
We have to sit there and watch the stock footage of Oni Taijin forming, and then the stock footage of Oni Taijin doing the finisher, and then the finisher, the turnaround of the cool pose thing. Like, there's like at least 2 minutes of just junk in there, no matter what, and it makes it more noticeable when you watch it every single fucking time. Especially because now we're doing it every single fucking episode. Because they have to sell the toy. Like, there was that point in the earlier show where we didn't actually have a giant monster fight every week. Like, sometimes, like, they would do the altar thing, but like it feels like most episodes in like the first 15 or however long it took them to actually get the thing is were just no giant monsters. No, you're right. Like that is most like half of all Sentai mech fights are just really boring, and you could just like turn away and get nothing from it.
However,
but it's
Donbrothers doesn't have the other half.
It's every fight because he doesn't.
It's
care.
all of them.
It's all. Of them.
This is obviously, like, you have to have the mech fight. It happens. Some of them are boring. It will happen. It's fine. It's just accepted. You can't make the same thing interesting every single week.
Yeah, and it's not. It's not even a knock specifically against him because obviously he has to do it.
Yeah,
but it's the fact that it's noticeable that he doesn't care, and it's more noticeable in Sentai because you have to do all of those prerequisites with the finisher and the stock footage and blah 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 whatever. You know, in Kiva, when there's a fight that he doesn't care about, all he has to do is just henshin and kick in, whatever. Like, and also he can cut back and forth through the fights because, like, especially with Inoue's writers. There's not as much of a set pattern. This is all writer in general, really, but there's not as much. Like the last 5 minutes of the episode of every Super Sentai, unless it's a special episode or like a two-parter, it has to be the mech fight. It has to be. That's how it goes. That is how Super Sentai functions. It has to be there. You can't put it in the beginning of the episode or in the middle of the episode. Unless it's special, right? The end of the episode has to be the mech fight. There is no fucking getting around that. In Kamen Rider, you can have those fights at any time you want. Usually they'll push for them to be near the end of the episode because you know that's again how these things go. It's not as strict. Kiva doesn't have to have a fight at the end of the episode. It doesn't have to be there. So, and also you can do a lot of the things Sakamoto as a director likes to do this, where you'll cut from the fight to something else. So in Kamen Rider, you can have a fight going on. It can go on the entire episode while you cut to other plot beats and other things that are happening during the episode, and then you can finish the fight and kill the monster at the end of the episode. You can't cut away from the mech fight when it started. Pretty much. They actually did that today. But like, once the mech fight is started, you have to see it through within the next 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing else going on. Like, there's nothing else to keep Inoue's interest. Like, he can't cut away to do a bit with the Cerebrans or whatever.
Yeah, we'll have another scene afterwards. Once you
start that mech fight, you are locked the fuck into that. And I assume that is what he finds super ass boring. And what is what makes it boring for us to watch.
And again,
but
a good way to alleviate this
that it's more noticeable.
Potentially be, have it be, make it relevant.
But he's not going to do that, obviously.
No, he's not going to do it, obviously. But it's like a lot. I feel as if he could make these things more interesting for himself if he was willing to engage with them even a little bit.
Yeah, that's what frustrates me about Inoue is he really doesn't seem like he wants. I mean, obviously at this point he's not going to. Like,
no,
he's never really entertained doing the things that don't interest him.
Yeah, like actually trying it.
Yeah,
a little bit, like, because plenty of people write for Super Sentai and find ways to make doing the same old mech fight interesting, even with like one spin-off.
Interesting enough, at least.
Yeah, you can find a way to keep your to actually make it an entertaining part of the episode
and not
to
just
watch,
a thing that happens to make 5-year-olds buy toys.
Exactly. You can make it relevant, but in a way just doesn't want to.
Nope. And what he doesn't want to do, he doesn't do.
Doesn't have
unless Toei holds a gun to, I mean, Toei can make him put things in the episode, but they can't make him care about it.
No, exactly.
Like they can't.
Like he can. Murasame will show up, but you will feel every second that he was not interested in that decision at all.
A memo will come down and say Murasame needs to fight Goku in this episode. and he'll get okay, and then they'll fire one attack at each other, and then that's it. Because that's literally what happened last week.
Yeah,
they both took like 2 swings at each other, and then he turned into Aubrey Killer, and then he turned into Go Tiger Ranger, and they fired one shot at each other with CGI stuff, and then they both just walked away.
The way he turned into Kyoryu Gold in this episode did the finisher immediately, and Sonoi left.
He did Zanda Thunder, it got blocked, and then they both just walked away.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean.
Sonoi just walked out through the dimension door.
You can't make you can lead Edoe to water, but you cannot. You can make him drink it, but you can't make him like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember you saying about them not knowing what to do with Don Murasame yet. I love when they do that. I love that.
It's fucking hilarious. They're trying to be Stacy.
Yeah, we have to have the fucking angsty purple guy with like the slightly high voice. It worked so well last time. They never learn. They never learn that you can't make lightning strike twice. It's amazing. They try it every time they have some success, and it has never worked.
They always make Inoue do it too.
It's weird how that happens.
It sucks. It probably sucks for him.
It really must suck for him, because like anyone with a brain can tell you it's not gonna happen the same way twice.
You think they might start? Go ahead.
Like it was, because these things are entirely unpredictable. You know, like Stacy was not even going to be in the show. Stacy, and he definitely wasn't going to be the focus. But then it turned out everybody loved him.
Main character.
The arms monsters, them as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, those.
That's definitely the biggest example. Like the most egregious example of Toei looking at Deno's runaway success and going, all right, anyway, do that too.
Do that as well. How do they not know? Like, I know, like the forever joke about anything is that corporate is completely clueless, but how can you think that's going to work?
At least Inoue actually did do something with the arms monsters.
Yeah, it's true.
Not really as the arms monster, like. Nothing even remotely approaching the Deno characters in terms of like I don't even know what they're called, but he did make them, at least one of them, an actual important character. Yeah, mostly Garu.
I was thinking about Garu. Sometimes this is nice.
Dick. Well, yeah, but you know.
That is a quintessential factor in Inoue making minor characters more important.
Yeah, if he wants to fuck them. Do you really think they'll start selling more mechs? I don't know. I mean, they've got Dano Taijin on the shelf, but they've also got all those altars too. I don't know if they really need more mechs. I don't think the solution to the problem is more toys. Doga was there for a bit. Basha was nothing. Yeah. Basha Hama. Did you know the Basha Hammer finisher for the roulette in Emperor Kiba was never used?
Awesome. He loves his toys.
Or whichever one the hammer one was is the only one that was never used in the show. It's funny. Like it's such a weird thing. They're like, oh, we forgot that one.
Didn't
do that one. That's weird.
Whatever. You can imagine it.
It fucking bugs me on some level when there's like things that a toy can do that they don't actually use it in the show for ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was Basha. Okay.
Basha Magnum.
Basha Fina. It bugs me when there's things that the toys can do that they never do in the show. Like it bugged me with the Bitrise stuff in 01 that they used at one time, and he didn't even go to Giga Rise.
No, the one toy was.
He went to like Mega Rise, or like he went like one under
the full, because he went up to Terra, right?
Arm cannon things. What the fuck ass are you talking about? Arm cannon things.
The who? The who?
I remember how they had the Hisatsu holder that they never used in Saber.
Oh yeah, fucking. Well, Caliber used it.
He didn't have a fucking choice.
Yeah, he that's the finisher he had.
Little dragon arms. Little arm dragons.
The fucking dragon. The boosters.
The Ryuki crap.
Yeah,
the booster.
Fuck those.
Dragon
King Lion Booster.
Yeah, they never used those. They used them like once.
Yeah. One reading.
It's because they were
Nothing.
dumb. It's because they were stupid.
Suck. Because they suck. They look fine, but they suck.
Yeah, it bugs me when Yeah, it bugs me when they have toys and they don't use them like in the show.
Yeah, fuck.
I felt like the Zenkai cannon was underutilized.
Kinda was. The whole summoning thing.
The summoning thing was so underutilized.
Oh yeah, fuck. They used that shit as a finisher plenty.
I was always like, they should be doing this every episode. They should be doing this twice an episode, every fucking episode.
Blade's probably held on to it because he was stuck with
King Lion for a while.
A long while, because you could actually wear it, unlike Dragon Ignite.
How did that end up being
still
like that?
Still unbelievable that is what happened. I'm glad I didn't watch Saber, because I would have been going out of my fucking head seeing Crimson Dragon every single week as well.
My favorite part was the one where he just to fuck with you, when there was those parts where he would actually take out Dragon Ignite, and then the book would immediately change him to fucking Primitive Dragon.
Oh yes.
Just
to fuck with you.
It has to be just to fuck with you.
So funny. Boy. Has Revice had any toys they haven't really used?
Vise.
Well. Oh fuck me, yeah, that thing.
But that's a totally different story.
Yeah, it's barely anything.
No, they used everything. That hammer. I mean, they don't use it a lot, but I feel like they showed off everything it can do. That's what's really like important to me.
Yeah.
Like not like.
And
really
also
important.
they used the hammer mostly as the slasher, as the blade. It's got a low use that way, which is a thing it can do.
I feel like
it was always
most toys to like enough completion that you get a feeling for everything it can do just by watching the show.
Yeah, exactly.
This literally isn't even a problem. This is just something that bothers me specifically. Two side drivers blade mode. I mean, yes, but Eva used it enough to like. Yes, I know what it does. You know?
Yeah, I get it.
I get it.
I get the notion.
Do you know what is weird? It feels like they don't really show off the P Bandai stuff enough.
Yeah, kind of.
It feels like they don't like.
I feel like they've shown like a normal amount.
A clear, clean, like read on the Evil Live finisher.
No,
every time he uses it, he's always running around screaming and shouting and shitting and farting.
Honestly, if the sounds weren't subtitled, I probably would miss a lot of the time he does it. Or at least what it says.
I don't know what it says. Yeah, and Invincible John didn't get solo
Fuck
finisher.
Me.
She might next week or some shit.
Yeah, maybe. I can't say I'm that fussed.
I don't really give a fuck. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, oh yeah, like I'll buy the memorial set.
King Cobra.
King
Cobra. You're gonna be fucked when they sell a P Bandai set of a bunch of memorial fucking stamps and like not reissue the drivers for them. You know, because that's the thing about 01, right? When they started doing these memorial sets.
Mm-hmm.
All of those memorial keys were for on-the-shelf drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Except for, I think, Jin's.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. One? But that... I think he just came in the Metsubo Jinrai set.
Yeah,
so
but it was
Scorpion.
No, Jin.
It was still
It was still Burning Falcon.
But you still get 3 other keys that you can use with that. And you can still use it.
You can use it before.
It's not correct. But...
Yeah. Or like they started those with Geo, but like the Geo, all you had to do is just have the 2 drivers on the shelf.
Yeah, which is very, very doable.
We're just assuming they're going to do a memorial set, which why wouldn't they? Did they do memorial books for Last year? Because I was totally checked out at that point.
They must have done.
I don't know. Did they? Rob?
I mean, there was Wonder Almighty. That was.
But was that just sold itself, or?
They did.
Is that a memorial
it's not
thing?
the same. They did the huge fucking swords that had a bunch of voice lines in it for all those three characters. Maybe? I don't.
I was really checked
I feel
out
like
for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't actually remember seeing them, but I don't know, like...
Don't remember Saber. Maybe they didn't do a memorial set for Saber. Maybe they won't.
Maybe we're just assume. Maybe they'll just sell Evility Live.
King Cobra.
No, sorry, Perfect Wing.
Perfect Wing.
That's, I will say, this
wing.
is a gripe that I have with Revice, which maybe I'm wrong, but the fact that the names of the stamps and the names of the forms
are different.
It is. It's weird and confusing and unnecessary.
It is confusing and weird.
I don't like it. I don't, because Giffard Rex is a fine name for a form. But it's Ultimate Revice, which is not a fine name.
That's what the stamp is called?
The stamp is the Giffard Rex stamp.
Hold on.
The form is
Ultimate
Revice and Ultimate Vice, which is literally nothing.
They don't even call it that. It is called Ultimate Revice. But like every time they talk about it in the show, they just call it Giffard Rex.
Giffard, yeah. Exactly, it's one of those. And like the Perfect Wing stamp is Evility Live and King Cobra is Invincible Jean. Why?
Juga.
Why? Ultimate Juga. I actually haven't accepted that's happening yet. It kind of isn't real in my head.
I'm so checked out, I don't even care. Like, it doesn't bother me.
No, I'm not. Well, I'm
past being mad. I just want the show to be over. This
I'm
is
a little
the same
mad.
way that we felt about Zenkaiger at the end. It was like, I just want the show to fucking end. At least at the end of Zenkaiger, we had Stacy crying.
Oh, that was. Oh my god, yes. What do we have? What do we have to look forward to? What have we got to live for doing this?
Nothing. Geets.
Watching Revice.
At this point,
that's a sorry state of affairs when you and me are holding out hope for the third Takahashi rider.
Oh, my man Takahashi will save Kamen Rider.
He'll do it this time.
Zenkaiger at least knew what it was about. Yeah, it is.
It is kind of unbelievable how
they killed George. There's no way,
right? I was gonna say there's no way, but like the thing is, they only redeemed him. I'm doing finger quotes in the first place. Just because they thought, I guess they thought they had another situation. It was like, oh, the actor's really popular. Everyone likes him on social media because he's always posting pictures with his rider collection. I assume is where this came from.
I assume.
And then they stuck him at that desk for 15 episodes and then moved him into the Igarashis to sit at a different desk and then moved him into Weekend to sit at a different desk, and now he's the villain again. So I don't believe he actually has the enduring popularity to not get killed.
Yeah, I think the problem is that when they took him out of the role that he was in, Rob stopped caring. And Rob is the only person that they make these shows for.
That's true.
And that's why they're doing this.
I think by completely different. I thought you said completely different. Never mind. I was gonna. Yeah, you're right. They did completely biff the build up by not fucking having any. The man has had no character for the entire middle of the show.
No character, no bitches, no paper, no acting.
He did have some drip.
He was dripping though.
Was dripping. He was supplying drip for the entire fucking show.
But no paper and no bitches.
No paper, no bitches.
Swag.
No swag. No rice. No attention.
He was demons once.
He was demons once, and he did the cougar pose, right?
Did he?
He did one of those. It was cougar or Ichigo, and I think it was cougar.
It was a cougar.
It was a cougar. Oh, hey. That's why.
Yeah, that's his Juga.
Fuck. He's a big fan of Cougar,
Yeah.
It's really good to remind people of the first Heisei Rider in the third Reiwa series. That definitely has some thematic.
Do you think anybody is reminded of Juga?
I mean,
didn't
it
even
looks
realize it was a Kuga thing until somebody pointed it out.
I never would have if it wasn't called Juga. I would have been like, why does it look like that? Also, not me genuinely forgetting that Revice alleges to be a 50th anniversary series.
It doesn't. We've already talked about this.
We have. It's not. It isn't.
It isn't.
They got that big old 50 on the belt. That's it.
15.
15. You know what?
I love
Unrelated.
that guy.
I miss that guy. I have said it before many times, but there's a hill that I will die on that he should have been in Geo.
15? That would have been awesome.
Literally. In the point where they had like fucking Aqua and Eternal, the thing is that 15-1 is literally called 15, and it's the 20th anniversary, and you have Decade in it already, and he's the only other guy who does it. And
15.
Everyone has fucking kanji on their face.
There's literally no way in hell that shit still exists.
It fucking 100% doesn't, which is I bet the only reason they didn't, because someone there will have thought of it.
15.
He has the kanji for 15 on his head, and everyone else has Rider for eyes.
That would have been too funny.
It would have been so fucking good. But the thing is, 15's character doesn't.
15's character. You're gonna say 15's character doesn't exist because you just talked about Aqua and Eternal.
No, I was gonna say like the whole thing is he was like his whole thing about being I barely remember, but you know the
dead
he
son.
was a dad. Right?
I remember. His son was dead, and his evil plan was to flip the living world and the dead world and make all the people who are alive dead and all the people who are dead alive.
Yes, he was going to turn the world inside out.
And that's why Kaiser was there.
Yes. So funny. They could have done something with him in Geo if they found something.
What they could have done. He could have just been there. Nobody fucking remembers 15.
No one remembers 15. No one remembers Aqua.
Everybody loves Aqua. Everybody's favorite O's character.
Genuinely,
Cena's gonna dive bomb into this fucking thing and start yelling at us about how Aqua is the best character in O's.
About how Aqua is so good. I went through a bit where I would genuinely remember and then forget and then remember again that Aqua was really actually in Geo as a somewhat important character. And every time I'd be like, what the fuck, they really put Aqua in it? I would get a not insignificant number of replies being like, yeah, and it was good to see him.
It was good, and everybody loved him. Okay. Wow.
Who?
It was a better tribute to O's than fucking the O's tribute. Eternal's the only double rep is hilarious.
Especially the ramen stand guy.
In the movie. Especially when they got Axel twice.
Yes, twice.
Since Double has ended, he was in Drive and he was in Revice.
He was in Gates Majesty as well.
Oh my god.
Along with Birth.
Yeah, and Kaiser.
And Kaiser, that's right.
And
Daiki, but he was a main character. Yeah, just somehow. Don't worry about it.
Well...
Nova, do you not know?
That's actually the funniest thing about Geo is when Sogo was like reversing, like remaking time or whatever. Yeah. He was like going back and he's like, that Kusaka guy seemed real nice. Because he didn't know. Like, he didn't know.
He had no idea.
He had no idea. He's like, Takami's poor dead friend Kusaka.
I need to bring that guy back.
He didn't know any better? Dumbass.
No, but that's so funny to me because Aqua being in Geo is one of the things that stands out in my mind as like one of those really weird things they did in that point.
They were just doing whatever at that point.
And then they killed him. And he's still... Well, no, because nothing that happened in Geo actually happened.
Geo unfucked everything.
Geo unhappened everything that happened in the show. I was literally going to say, in the fucking Forze Fires episode, when it was like, oh, they seem like good friends, that made me want to fucking kill myself.
I think
real.
that's literally when I stopped watching.
I think if
I'm pretty sure I remember that
I
after that episode, I was like, I'm done. I can't do this.
I'm out. What the fuck are you talking about?
That was
Fies was not fresh in my memory, but I watched it like the year before, so I was like, no, I remember enough to
disgraceful.
Get out of my face. I mean, in fairness, Fies did that as well, because the minute Kusaka was dead, everyone was acting like they liked him.
It was the guilt. It's the trauma. You got kicked to death by a horse.
Careful.
On a beach.
On a beach. Mind that you don't get kicked by a horse and die.
That was. Did he know?
Did
Inoue know?
Was that on
What was
purpose?
he cooking?
Did he know that far in advance?
I like to think he did.
Oh, I
What?
really.
What was he cooking?
What was he cooking? That first episode with Kusaka in is actually one of the fucking best.
It's the only good episode with Kusaka.
It's literally the only good one, because it is entirely Takumi walks up to like his fancy fucking sports academy and just challenges him at everything.
Loses.
Like that legendary tennis whiff, which is so good, but underrated. I feel is the fencing.
The fencing one's always good too.
The fencing one is so good, because the fencing is whatever, but like right at the end, we're like, oh, we have to go in a hurry, and Takumi tries to fucking sweep his leg out from under him as he's leaving, and Kusaka just like jumps over it and looks at him like, "Fuck are you doing?
Fuck you.
Get out!" Awesome.
I wish they had been like that the whole time instead of Kusaka being a raging misogynist.
It's crazy how Kusaka has like he's like you think you get his character, because I knew he was bad, but I was like, oh, this is kind of normal, and then when they take Kiba in for a bit, and suddenly it's like, oh no, we've suddenly
There's
gone
like
off
the point of no return in that like scene a few episodes later,
talking about Mari.
where he like fucking corners Mari in like a fucking park at night and starts ranting about how he wants her to be his mom or some fucking insane shit.
Yeah, it's.
And you're like, oh, we're too far gone with this guy.
Oh no, this guy's fucked. Inoue was awesome for actually killing him, though.
He was actually awesome for killing him.
That was good for making a guy like Kusaka be like, okay, and now he gets killed.
I wish he got
not
killed,
just
like,
once,
not like in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, it would have been way better to have it happen anytime sooner. But
be killed instantly. He did also kill him in the movie.
I was gonna say he killed him not once but twice.
3
and
times.
He
didn't write that movie, but he did die again in that movie.
Yeah.
Technically, he died twice in that movie because they showed a different retcon, like a different retcon version of his original death from Vise, and then killed him again.
Which is so fucked. What was going on there?
I mean, I get why they would want to redo the footage. For it's like for kids who've never seen Vise. Because that was a long time ago. But the like historical anachronism of Takumi being there again, I get why, because it would take too long to be like, and then later, like hours later, Takumi like finds his body or like whatever actually happened to Vise. But
and it's like they're fighting the horse Orphanok, and is it the king Orphanok as well?
I fucking cannot even remember what Orphanok
it's one
was.
of the. It's the horse. Like
it's horse is something else. Well, horse is who killed him.
Horse is who killed him. Weird. It just plays on my mind like what the version of Fires that scene happens in would look like.
They also retcon Kusaka actually having like final words to Takumi, which he obviously didn't have in the show. Because you have to do that, because that is the catalyst for why Takumi acts like that in that movie. Like why Takumi's doing what he's doing in that movie. Like it's totally understandable why they decided to make this scene like that, but it's so bizarre.
Really weird. Really weird.
Bizarre. They were really just counting on you either not having seen Fires or like not remembering Fires well enough to just be like, oh, yeah, that's probably what happened, like more or less.
It was about like that.
It was about like that. Yeah, sure. Naruto was there.
Naruto was there. Just for that, though. Just for that little bit.
Just for that little bit.
Right at the end.
When he's like, fuck off. Infinity.
Straight into infinity. Also, because I'm thinking about Inoue and Gio now. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Nope. The Kiba arc?
Yep.
I didn't watch that.
That was it.
I don't have any idea what happened to that. There's a manhole cover.
Yep. Ginga is there.
There's a one. Nope, that didn't happen. I have seen that part actually.
Ginga finally is there. Which is another actually really good example of Inoue not giving one shit about the toys, because when Ginga finally debuts, Woz gets his final form and it's like, oh, he's going to do the whole Iwai thing,
Nope.
Like he does. He does it. He's like, oh, Iwai, fucking admin of the universe, whatever. Ginga finally, but he literally goes, but we're pressed for time, so I'll do the abridged version, and then goes straight into fighting her, and it's like,
come on, man.
I bet what that is Inoue straight up did not write that into the script, and the editor was like, we gotta get it in there, but like find a justification for him to not do the whole thing.
Fucking hilarious.
I do remember in Heisei Generations when Haruto had intense sexual chemistry with the One Foundation X.
Wasn't that guy the wrestler who really likes Kamen Rider?
Yeah, I think that was him.
Somebody else would know better, but I'm pretty sure that was that wrestler.
Haruto was on some shit in that movie.
He was just fucking around in that movie.
He just showed up to their base.
He was like, that was like, Haruto in that movie was like the one time they called, was a different guy. Haruto was like the one time that they called fucking Tsukasa and he couldn't come in, and so they called Haruto and just had him play essentially the same character.
Exactly the same.
That's the kind of vibes he was on. That's the kind of shit. He just walked around and did mysterious things.
He showed up, he disappeared all the cops who were outside their base, including Shinosuke.
Yep, funny.
Fucking funny of him. And then walked in and was like, yeah, I want to join you guys. For nothing. It didn't amount to anything that I recall.
Nope, not really.
He was just there, he flirted with that one guy, and then he was like, oh, I was actually fucking with you.
It's really like they wanted Decay, but they couldn't get him.
Yeah. For real, they need to get Haruto back in this at some point. I am still amazed that there was that of all the things, and I know it's because they had the same writer, but there was Saber and Ghost.
It's because nobody likes Wizard.
It is because nobody likes Wizard.
Pretty unpopular.
Yeah, but Saber and Wizard would have made so much sense.
You know X-Aid's gonna show up in Keith's room.
Oh,
like they're gonna do that same thing.
I don't want it.
You do want it. I hope Emu is just as much of a dick as he is in Geo when he just fucking hates being alive.
That would be so good.
Post True End trilogy when he gets fucking shot in the streets.
Oh man, the True End trilogy was actually awesome.
That is the best way to get the main writer out of your. You know, in 01, Naruto was like in space.
He's in space.
In X-Egg, they shot him.
Yeah.
They shot him with a gun.
And it was Dark Parrot, right?
Yeah. He shot him with a gun.
Right in the fucking... Right through, like, the upper chest.
In the streets, like...
They
drive by his ass.
Fucking awesome.
And that's what took him out for the entirety of all three of those movies.
Amazing.
Imagine saving the world twice and being the strongest fucking motherfucker in the entire world, and you get shot in the street.
Shot in the street.
That's the
Gunned
same.
Down.
You know what?
He got 7th Doctor.
No, I was gonna say that. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, you know what else that happened to? Sylvester McCoy. He just stepped out and got fucking blasted.
Gunned the fuck down.
What a good movie.
I love the bit. I think it's in we should do a movie night of the fucking 8th Doctor movie.
We'll get there.
The bit, I think it's Genom and Laser when Kiryu goes to visit him and he's in the hospital bed and he's sleeping and Kiryu just starts fucking with like the mechanical adjustments for the bed.
Oh, dickhead.
And just like raises him up until it puts pressure on his arm and wakes him up and he goes, oh, you're awake.
Dickhead.
Kiryu was such a fucking cunt all the time.
Oh god.
I remember when it was... X-Aid was good, but only when Kiryu was there.
Save the show.
He genuinely did. I remember when, like, Laser Turbo showed up and he didn't untransform for a while, and we were like, Is it just the suit? Is Kyria back? And then like in the next time they teased and there's Kyria's face, and that's literally the last thing that happens in that episode. Yeah. And then the next one he's there.
Fucking insane.
Oh yeah, X-Aid was so fucked for that kind of thing. And then he was just fucking with him the whole time.
X-Aid was so fucked for his facing that we still make fun of it every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Every episode of fucking Revice, if it's not us, somebody in chat is always constantly making fun of X-Aid's pacing.
The fact that nothing ever happens.
We get through like one scene of Revice, and somebody will be like, "That was 2 episodes of X-Aid."
It literally is, though.
Literally, it is.
Oh God.
All right, we need
Kyria was. Yeah. I was just thinking like. I was thinking about Kyria's with his black jacket and like slightly different. I was honestly sad when he went back to looking like pre-being dead. Kyria with like the smoothed hair.
Oh yeah.
The red jacket is nice, but the hair was just so much better when he was evil. It was really, really good. Like, despite it all, I do still think Laser Turbo is a very sexy suit.
It is good suit. That's why they made a fucking Rider Kick figures of it.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's probably $1 million because it's been out of print for like 5 years.
I'm looking at it with my own 2 eyes because I got that fucker on the desk with me.
Bitch. All right. We're done. It's been a while.
It's been a minute. Get out.
Fuck off, Kyria Chamba. I'm not rating anybody today because I've got stuff to do. I got shit to do like tomorrow. I need to get up immediately. I need to get up immediately and do dinner things. So I don't want to be trapped by social convention. So we're gonna forego a raid today. That's it. I don't see. Normally I would have like a thing here, but we don't. So I will see you guys tomorrow for Somnium Files, I think. It's actually just you and me and Rob here.
Yeah, that's it.
Actually, it's not. There's like a lot of people here.
There are. That's the thing.
I don't look. I can't see. I think you can see it on your end because you have the chat pulled out. I can't see it on OBS, so I have no fucking idea.
That's true. It's been the 3 of us having a conversation.
It's just me. That's always how it goes. It's just me and Rob. Yeah, and easy. I mean, I'm just like,
you're all still here.
There's a lot of people on these streams that just lurk and listen, which I of course appreciate.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate it. If you guys weren't here, I'd just be talking to fucking nobody.
Yeah, we'd just be having a fucking.
It would just be the reason that we started doing this in the first place, which is that after we stop the stream and then Jan, I would just talk for another 4 hours.
Yeah, fuck, we really I remember the first one of these we did, or something like we streamed something together, and we genuinely were on call for like another 3 hours.
That was way back. That was way long ago.
Way
before any of this. When I streamed Bloodborne.
That's right. I got on the Bloodborne stream and then we just kept talking till like 6 in the morning for me.
Yep.
Fuck, I forgot. That was so long ago. I was prehistory.
You know, I've never played Bloodborne on this channel. I played Bloodborne PSX.
Oh, that's fine. That's more the brand for here, I think.
Yeah. I played Bloodborne PSX. I mean, we'll do it. So I still owe everybody a Dark Souls run that I keep forgetting about. With the fucking keyboard.
At some point, Minecraft is in.
Stop! I have so many things that I'm not doing.
I know. It's fine because it means I have more time to do behind the scenes stuff.
You know, I keep waiting for you to be like, all right, and now I'm ready to do Minecraft. That one's more so just for you than anybody else. Like when I put that on the list, that was just for you.
Yeah, I appreciate.
I mean, everybody several people have asked me at certain points, "Are you gonna play Minecraft?" And I was like, "No, no." If you give me I didn't remember what number. I think it was like $100, something like that.
That was $69.
Yes, that's right. Fuck yeah! If you give me $69, I'll play.
I was so happy about.
I'll commit to one Minecraft stream with Jay.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's up to you.
Yeah.
That's up to you to you have access to all the files for my schedule, so you could just You can just DM me my completed schedule, and it just has that on it.
I actually could do that. I could just like.
You could just write my schedule for me and just like, and here's the schedule this week. Oh, all right.
That would be good.
Great.
You write up the schedule, you post it, and there's a day with no stream, and I just fucking post amended version. Minecraft
You just reblog it. You just retweet it with no, this is the real schedule.
She left off Minecraft again.
Minecraft.
Don't worry, I corrected it.
It was just all 5 days say Minecraft on it. All right. That's it. We're actually doing one of the Donathon things this week because I'm doing two of them because we're still playing Memory of Heroes and we're doing the Figurized Tajor.
Oh yeah. There was a lot that came out of that stream. It's understandable to take a while.
There's a lot of things that I haven't done yet, and some of them are just like 1 day. Like I've only committed to 1 day of, but it's just like I'm not ready to do it yet. Also, I need to get Boss to draw my dick on a pillowcase. I literally keep forgetting to do that. There's so much other things. I have fucking emotes that I have to get to.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody. I'm gonna stop talking now because I gotta go make food. I'm so hungry. It was a googer. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Thank y'all for coming. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.